Hey there, fellow Grumps and our 52 subscribers and loyal viewers of our Grumpy Old Gentleman videos. Back for the long-awaited finale of the Grumpy Old Gentleman on Film Marathon 2. And these last two films that I watched were picked for me by Mr. Harry Benson from Florida. And two really good films. The first one that I watched is The Shallows from 2016. Really good shark movie. Nowhere near the same league as Jaws, of course, but very intense little shark movie. The lovely Blake Lively stars in it, and gotta be honest, when I first saw this movie in the store, I hadn't heard of it. It made like $120 million the summer of 2016, but I hadn't heard of it. Just wasn't on my radar for some reason, and I saw the Blu-ray in Walmart, and what attracted me was the rectangular cover. How it goes from water to blood, and Blake Lively, of course, and which she looks pretty good in this movie. Kind of fun to watch. Looks good in a bikini. Easy on the eyes. But she's a medical student in this film, and she goes to a beach on Mexico and goes out surfboarding pretty much all day long. And on her last trip out, she notices a dead whale from a shark attack. The shark is pretty much devoured most of it, and she tries to get the hell out of the water, but the shark attacks her and ends up biting her leg, and she swims towards a rock and ties off her leg to stop the bleeding with her strap on her surfboard. And later on, she uses some of her jewelry to stitch up the wound, which is pretty gruesome to see. But yeah, she fends off the shark attack pretty well. The shark goes after her several more times, but really good, intriguing shark movie, interesting to watch. Yeah, Blake Lively, very, very nice looking actress, and what can I say? I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I probably give this 3 out of 4 stars. This was actually the third time I've watched it since I've owned it. Watched it when I first got it, and I watched it last year, and watched it again. Thanks for picking this one, Harry. I really liked it. And this one I've enjoyed the last few years of collecting movies. The poster art to this used to scare the hell out of me when I was a kid. My older brother, and I've probably told this story before in other videos when because I've talked about this movie before. It's Nosferatu, the Vampyre from 1979. But my older brother, he had the paperback novelization of this book in 1979 when I was 8 years old at the time, and he was probably 15 or 16. And he used to read this book, and he would have to put it in the closet of our bedroom that we shared before I would come to bed at night, because it, just like how creepy it is. There's Klaus Kinski dressed up as Count Dracula, and he's carrying off Lucy from the film, played by the lovely Isabella Johnny. And yeah, this is a really good vampire movie. Werner Herzog directed it, German filmmaker, and there's actually 2 versions of this film. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox, and Fox requested that Herzog film two versions of the film. One where the actors speak English, and one where it was originally filmed in German language, but he wanted an American version too, and the actors aren't dubbed in this film. Werner Herzog actually filmed two versions of this film, and I've watched them both over the years, and I can't tell any difference between the two at all. Just the languages are different. The shots of the scenes are the same. To me, I've never noticed anything different about it, and I like both versions of it. Yeah. Doesn't really make any difference which one I watch. I guess I probably preferred to watch the American version. It's easier to understand. Of course, the German version has English subtitles if you're into that kind of thing, and I am in some movies, but given the opportunity, I'd pick the American version. But Bruno Ganz, he plays Jonathan Harker in this film, and he's a really good Jonathan Harker. Everybody's in this movie is really good. The guy that plays Renfield, he's a good Renfield. And Klaus Kinski's makeup took hours to put on, and it was rumored at the time that he was very hard to get along with in this film. He argued constantly with Werner Herzog, but he got along really good with the makeup guy. And they made him up to look exactly like Max Schreck from the 1922 silent version, the original version. And there were several scenes in this film that are shot for shot and reenactments of the 1922 version too. And I've seen the 1922 version a couple times over the last 10 years, and I really need to get the Kino release of it and watch it really soon. Maybe I'll get it this October and watch it for my Halloween horror-thon that I'm planning on watching horror movies all through October. But lots of beautiful shots in this film. I like the way it's filmed. It opens up showing mummified babies and corpses. That's pretty gruesome, but nice shots of the countryside, and lots of terrifying, foreboding shots too when Jonathan Harker is on his way to Dracula's castle. Some very scary shots in the film. Treacherous mountains, and the waterway he's got to walk by. Yeah, pretty scary stuff. And this was one of the first Dracula films that actually it's not very romantic. Usually Dracula is portrayed like a romantic character. He falls in love with the women in the film, like either Lucy or Mina Harker, one of the two women in the film. It changes throughout the history of the Dracula films. But although he does fall in love with Lucy in this film, he's kind of attached to her. They treat vampirism as a sickness, as a disease, rather than anything romantic. It's more like the plague. Once you get bit, you either die or become a vampire. Nothing at all romantic or at all about it. Which Universal's 1979 Dracula, it came out the same year and starred Frank Langella, and it was full of romance and all that stuff, which I like as well. But this was the art house Dracula that came out in 1979. Love at First Bite, it came out that same summer. It was a comedy with George Hamilton. He starred as Dracula. Three very good Dracula films came out in 1979, but this is my favorite of the three. And the first time I watched this was on the Sci-Fi Channel, I guess, in 1992 or 93. They used to show it quite often, and that was the first time I watched it. And when Scream Factory released a Blu-ray of this 2 or 3 years ago, I ordered it day one. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about it. 4 stars out of 4 stars. Very good picks, Harry. The Shallows, 3 stars, and Nosferatu, 4 stars. And that concludes my part of the Grumpy Old Gentleman on Film 2 marathon. I hope you all have enjoyed our little video chats, and hopefully we'll do some kind of marathon again really soon. Maybe we'll do like a Christmas themed marathon where we all pick Christmas movies for each other to watch. And I was thinking about that the other day. That sounds pretty good. Of course, next month Ian is picking a movie for us to watch for our monthly discussion, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a horror film, but looking forward to that, and I'll see you all later. Everybody stay safe and be good to each other. Bye.